So I am going to do a two podcasts basically this week. So we started doing this podcast because it was Thursday night. It was the kickoff of the NFL week and things like that. So, but I had a guest on this week for the World Series. So I was on his show, which was, in my opinion, to be honest with you, please check that out. It was much better uh, because we did it first thing in the morning. We were fresh, and he had a lot going on. So he does morning talk radio, and um, he has huge family, kids, all that good stuff. So I didn't want to leave you like Eagles fans hanging, so to speak. Um, but if you didn't hear in our first segment of our podcast, we had our Crazy Philly Rob playlist that's on Spotify and YouTube. It is now going to be on jukeboxes now through the World Series, on all any bars, venues that have AMI jukeboxes. Um, so the Eagles have the Steelers this week, and the Eagles are huge favorites. They're minus 10.5. They've had extra rest. They're not injured. They just got Robert Quinn. They were rumored to try and get McCaffrey for a third. They didn't. Now they're rumored to be all in and trying to get Kamara. And I actually went to Monmouth University, and my guest on the show went to Monmouth as well. Kenny Pickett's from Ocean Township. So this is going to be a huge homecoming for him. I bet you he has a huge fan club with him. Probably a lot of friends from home that are Eagles fans, plus just fans of him in general. So the fact that it's 10.5, I think it's going to be much closer. Doom and TikTok basically has a betting strategy that's been hitting like historically like 50-60% of the time, way over 50% if you just play it. But this season it's been even better, I believe. It's been upwards of 70% of the time. If the spread is 9 or more in an NFL game, you take the under, which this game, the spread is minus 10.5, which is, if you can do math, it's more than 9, and it's going to be dead on because I think the Steelers defense is going to come to play. We're undefeated. Everyone's going to be giving us, from here on out, if they haven't already, the best shot possible. So I think the Steelers will play tight. I think Kenny will play tight. I think the Eagles win handedly, but this game's going to be a lot closer than the spread indicates and everybody indicates. So it's a tough game for the Eagles. We won't be there. We're going to the World Series on Tuesday. And if you missed it in the first half of the podcast with Union Station Media, we definitely want to shout out the Philadelphia Union, who are in the championship, basically. So, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank here of the coach. Curtin, maybe? If that's right, because I am terrible. I'm really sorry. I don't really follow the Union at all. But he won Coach of the Year. So they're going to win it all. The Philadelphia Union are going to win it all. So that's Sunday. It's probably after the Eagles game, which last year, Jim Curtin. So last year, we went to Eagles Jets when Gardner Minshew started, and the Union had to play in the championship, but the whole team had COVID. So instead of postponing the game, the Union played, and they were, if they had their full roster, they would have been heavily favored last year. I do know that. I started bandwagoning last playoff run, like heavy. So I'm going to give myself some more credit than I did before. But they're heavy favorites. And this year they had a much tougher road to get there, but now that they're in, I think they got it. So I really do. And I really think the Sixers could fire Doc Rivers this year, and it could be Philly Rob 2.0. And the Flyers are 4-2. Once this all dies down, I can't wait to watch some hockey, man. Not the biggest hockey guy, but I'm definitely going to try and catch a couple games. If you guys like the Flyers, I know we have a lot of underground Flyers people on here. So we have our Eagles Batman shirt out, but I'm definitely going to do a Flyers one next. So you guys have been amazing. We sold like over 50 Bryce Harper shirts. We cut the Cobra Kai shirts at 50, and then these Batman shirts, we have a limit of 50 orders, and then we print them out and ship them. So if you're listening to this before Halloween and there's any left, get the Batman shirt. And then we're going to do Gritty or something. So, and then I tried to talk to her a little bit, but I didn't want to hold the guy up. But Andy Reid, man, he just keeps wheeling and dealing. He got Kadarius Toney from the Giants, who's a really high-end prospect. If you remember, I think the Eagles got Devontae Smith, and the Giants were pissed. I think they ended up moving back and then just getting Toney. So he's been a total bust, but he's going to be amazing for the Chiefs. So he's taking all the bad news bears. Eagles Chiefs would be sick. So I may have to bring that guy back on that was just on. So please listen to part 1 of this week. And please go check out his show too, because we did like a hit. He was with me for like 25 minutes and we kind of blew through it quickly. But if you want real insight in the World Series, we killed it. We killed it. People are going to poke fun, but he knows his shit. He's a huge Astros fan. I didn't know enough about the team, and it forced me going along with him and his posse to do research. But they're freaking legit. I'm not going to talk Phillies because I did it the whole segment with our guests. Really, I just put my Eagles people out there. I felt like y'all got slighted, so it's just so hard. Like with this going on with the World Series. So we're going Tuesday. So if anybody is going, hit us up. It's going to be amazing. So I can't wait to get back full on to. I hope the Phillies win it all, but I can't wait to get back to Eagles football like all day, all the time. That's why we started this. To be honest with you, it's going to be electric in there, and then they're going to go down to Houston, and hopefully the World Series. See, it keeps coming back. Hopefully the World Series keeps on keeping on. And there's going to be mad Philly fans down there. It's going to be another great weekend if they can fight this week. If the Eagles can fight and not play down, I hope they do not play down the Steelers. If everyone just keeps fighting, like next Thursday, Friday, Saturday could be really, really freaking amazing. We could have a parade, and we could have Eagles like still undefeated. It is just going to be freaking electric. This layoff has been brutal. Much needed rest and recovery. Hitting the gym, I'm sure the team healed up. I saw a local girl. Here's the Phillies again. I saw a local girl at Trader Joe's, and she basically saw Bryson Stott and Harper there because they had a little bit of break. So everybody needed the break for sure, the bye week. Everyone's healthy. And I can't say enough about the Robert Quinn signing because the Bears ate most of the cap. We're paying him like $700,000, and we gave up a fourth. He's just huge. He's a really clean tackler. I posted a highlight video of him. He's like just as a depth rotational piece. Like you don't need him. It's not like we lost somebody. This is the great thing about Howie. He's a monster. He just keeps building. Like it wasn't like a desperation play. Like we're undefeated. Like it's not like anybody got hurt. I mean, we lost Barnett for the year, but that was earlier, and we're still undefeated. So just keep pushing, and just keep adding players. And if they do end up adding a running back, it's going to be amazing. So just wanted to touch more for at least a few minutes on the Eagles because I really didn't get to get to it this week, but I did go to college in Monmouth, and Kenny Pickett. I was a big fan of him coming out, even with the small hands and all that garbage. He's gonna come to play, dude. This is his homecoming. This is a huge game. Ton of family members like the Steelers on my part, and I know most of you guys out there as well have a ton of family members that are Steelers people and the Steel Curtain. It's huge. It doesn't matter what the record is. It's one of those games. It only happens once every several years. So it's gonna be friggin' insane. So I'm jealous of yous that are going to both the Eagles. We before the World Series even happened, we sold this game because there's a lot going on with Halloween and the kiddies and things like that. And we had a lot of away trips in DC and Arizona. But maybe we'll get up there Sunday. Maybe we'll buy back in, get some last minute tickets. It's going to be awesome. If you're going to any of the Phillies or Eagles game, please hit us up. Please send us your pictures. And please play the Philly Rob playlist on the AMI jukeboxes. Play, tag us, follow this podcast on mainly Spotify and Apple, but we're available on Amazon and Google and Android and all those other Play stores. Anywhere you get your podcasts, anywhere you listen. We'll be back hopefully next week. Hopefully we clinch it next week. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Philly. Hopefully we clinch. We'll have a victory podcast. If not, if it's still going on, we'll probably still be talking Phillies next week and Eagles, Houston. That game is going to be on. Oh my. Wow, I'm glad I'm just spitballing this now. So we may have to do this Wednesday or early Thursday morning because we have a game or before the Eagles game. We're going to have to fit this in there somewhere. I'm going to the game Tuesday. Wednesday is now you guys are like my personal assistants. But in any event, as we say, signing off, please follow us wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll try and fit this in somehow next week. Before the Eagles game, after the Phillies win the World Series, something like that. Maybe when I'm driving in the car home from the World Series, who knows?